2016 says I just whipped your ass.
Ultimania is over.
Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
I'm Johnny B. Bad, the Bad Man of World Championship Wrestling.
When I first came to the WWE, women's wrestling was a joke. And I proceeded to single-handedly change everything.
It's SummerSlam. I will be there for one reason, and one reason only. To see that justice is served.
It is now time for Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast.
It's the most erotic thing I've ever seen.
Well, hello. And I'm going to say again, why not? You're listening to Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast. Once again, Rabbi Barris is not here. He messaged us earlier and says he has a cold. He's blaming it on the weather changes. I'll actually believe it this time. And as the king will say here after we get his introduction, after he hears his pomp and circumstance, he'll probably agree with me. But anyway, now I give you the magnificent, magnanimous. I don't know what else to say. I think I'm tapped out on this one. The king of all wrestling and Ring the Bell Radio. Please stay 5 feet behind the rope. All right, screw it. I don't know what I'm saying. Here he is, King Logan.
My God, I just need to start writing these intros down for you.
I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
It's just like, stand over there. Or here's a can. What's that? It's a kitty cat. King Logan. That's random. Hello, my magnanimous and amazing fans. Welcome back once again to Ring the Bell Radio. One of those. Arrested. No, that was part of it. Shut up. I didn't screw up. That was part of it. You see, you broke it now. A wrestling podcast with me, King Logan. Oh, no, you just threw me off of your laughing. You're laughing. I'm just, it's a night. I tell you.
Okay?
It's been a long week. Oh, my God. It's been a long week.
What is this? I see it. What is that? An owl behind you? Blinking its eyes?
Yeah. It's my Halloween owl.
Oh, okay. Your Halloween owl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll give, respect to the All Hallows Eve.
What King Logan has done is he has decorated his box. And it's very, it's very, is it proper to say festive with Halloween decorations?
Yeah, you could say festive.
You could say festive with Halloween. I know you say festive at Christmas time, but okay, it's very spooky with the Halloween decorations. But
there
I like
you go.
I like them.
There you go. I got my crepe paper or my creepy paper, as they call it in what they do in the shadows. Great series. If you don't watch that, you need to watch it. It is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
I stopped listening. What were you saying?
Yeah, continue on with the show.
King Logan, this is the American dream. That's the road. And what I want to talk to you is about the Widowmaker, Barry Windham. Now, do you know why? People have been asking me why he'd be called the Widowmaker. You see, cowboys would ride bulls. And then you have all those bulls that the cowboys are riding. But you only had one bull that couldn't be rode. And you know what that was called? The Widowmaker. Because that was the baddest bull of them all. And then you have Barry Windham. Bear Windham, the Widowmaker. That's why he was called the Widowmaker. But then you'd have another cowboy who'd want to be the baddest cowboy of them all. And he would walk into that rodeo and say, let me ride the baddest bull here. And that was known as the Widowmaker, because that's the bull that couldn't be rode. So that cowboy would go ride that bull, and that bull would kick his ass, I say there, baby. And that bull would come out and go, that bitch just tried to ride me. And guess what? Now his wife is a widow. Hence the Widowmaker, because none of those other wrestlers could wrestle Bear Windham. He was the Widowmaker.
Wow. Wow.
Because the bull couldn't be rode. And sometimes, sometimes they just don't do those rodeos down in Texas. They do them down in Alabama sometimes too.
I get, all right, all the time, I get stuff screamed at me for going off topic, all right, or talking about random stuff.
Yeah.
Here's your sign.
Well, what's random about it? It's Dusty Rhodes. It's about wrestling. He was talking about Barry Windham.
Why are we talking about Barry Windham?
Because. Why not?
I'm gonna see where this goes. I'm gonna roll with it.
No, this is a wrestling show, and that had something to do with wrestling. Did it not? It was Dusty Rhodes, Barry Windham,
I
wrestlers.
need more drugs. Seriously.
But you know what we can't do this week, because Rabbi is not here.
Can't read the mail.
We can't read the mail. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the second week in a row. No, this is the third, right?
Yeah.
No. Rabbi wasn't with us.
Second,
because Rabbi wasn't with us the last show. Because I like us all to be here to hear when we get fan mail this good. And it's from our friend Brian, which we haven't heard from in a couple years. I don't think.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so we got to wait another week. We got to wait until the Rabbi Barris is returned.
This is bullshit.
I know. I mean, I want to. I specifically didn't share this with you guys beforehand. You know how we usually all read this, the fan mail that we're going to put on the air. But this one I specifically didn't share with you guys because I want to get your guys, especially you, King. I want to get your genuine reaction.
Okay.
So next time. But there is something I wanted to ask you. Have you ever seen the Ric Flair Jay Lethal WOOOO Off?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so this was a number of years back. I want to say I have the date here. This was from actually June of 2010. This was when Ric Flair was in TNA Wrestling. Okay. And you know who Jay Lethal is. Black Machismo.
Yeah.
So
we talked about.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm gonna there's a couple of minutes leading up before this, but I'll just explain it to you. Where Ric Flair and AJ Styles was still on TNA at the time. Okay. So Ric Flair has there's this stable. And Ric Flair's not their manager. He's kind of the whole story is he's kind of grooming these wrestlers to be the best of the best. That they're the top dogs. Each one of them has the title. They're the best technical wrestlers, sort of like the old Four Horsemen was. Okay,
or Evolution.
Yes, or Evolution, but more so the Horsemen because he actually references the Horsemen. Okay. But he's doing that on purpose because he has them all coming out very GQ, all in their suits. Remember what the Horsemen did, Ric Flair did, and all that with their glasses, their Rolexes. So it's emulating the Horsemen. But Ric Flair's coming out and telling all these guys in the ring, you got to be the best of the best. You guys got to stick together. You got to do everything. You got to watch each other's backs. But he makes it a point to say, okay, guys, it's not the Horsemen. This isn't the Horsemen. But you could be you could be like the Horseman if you have that mindset, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Jay Lethal has been like a thorn in their side for a couple of weeks now. And Jay Lethal did Black Machismo, where he was emulating the Macho Man. But now he was to the point where he was acting like Ric Flair. And he sounded like Ric Flair. So he would go around going, I'm Ric Flair. You know, and it was a great gimmick, because he'd come out in his suits and everything and doing the woo and all that. So what it is Ric Flair has all these gentlemen in the ring, and he was just doing everything I was saying. He was telling the crowd, you know, these guys are the best of the best, but it's not the Horsemen, but they're going to act like the Horsemen, be the best, which leads up to Jay Lethal walking out. Okay. And I'm going to bring this up on our monitor here. So we could watch it and we could comment on it as we're watching it.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Sounds
okay.
Like
So yes, I'm going to get it up here on the screen. Uh-oh. Wrong button. There we go. All right. Is it up there on the monitor? I can't see it.
I can see it.
Oh, yep. Is it up there? Okay.
Yep.
We gotta angle this TV in here so I can actually see what we're putting up there. Or is that a you doing so? Because notice it's pointed right at you.
Yeah, because I want to see it.
So okay, so here we go. This is gonna pick up where you see Ric Flair is that's James Storm over there, and he's talking to AJ Styles, and then we're gonna see Lethal come out, okay? So here we go.
Jay Lethal, a little pissant from New Jersey, beat the...
It's nice to hear smaller arenas where you can hear like the reverb of the crowd.
Now he sounds like Rick when he starts talking, okay?
He's even walking like Rick.
Woo! Did I hear that punk right there say anything about the four horsemen?
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. He sounds like him.
Greatest group of men to ever grace God's green earth.
He does sound like
I
it.
didn't hear that.
Look at Rick.
Because as far as I'm concerned, it looks like the horsemen were here. They took a dump in the ring and they left that.
There's AJ.
Wow.
I had the privilege to be on the road, up and down. Late nights, parties, kissing the girls, and making them cry. With the horsemen, you guys, as far as I'm concerned, are no horsemen. That is disrespectful to me and this wrestling business.
Ric Flair wants to laugh so bad.
What did you say?
I said that you can see Ric Flair wants to laugh so bad. Like he's just like he's got his mouth open because if he closes it, he's gonna be smiling. It's good.
Let's continue.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Why you, Nature Boy? Not that pissant Jay Lethal. Hey!
And Rick's just getting undressed. He's throwing a shoe at him.
Let's see what you got. You can let's see you rolling. Let's see what you got. Come on. Throw all your balls away, Rick. Come on. Let's see what you got. You want to see something? Yeah. Let me show you something. I want to see it.
Well, Flair's got one shoe on, by the way.
See it? Yeah. You want to see it? Yeah. Watch this.
He is driving Flair nuts.
Right there is the greatest thing you have ever seen. You can't be me. You me
you're
off.
tough, yeah.
You don't cut me off.
Woo!
Hey, don't you start that with me.
Woo! Woo!
Don't you be upset with
Limousine
me.
riding, jet flying, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun that could kiss any woman right here, even that fat one. And
Oh my God!
Big man, don't get me wrong. Don't you be upset because they tore Old Space Mountain down. Don't be upset. But hey, because of Slick Rick,
oldest ride, longest line. Woo! Woo!
well, Rick, thanks to me, Space Mountain.
Threw another shoe.
See what you got, man. Let's see what you got.
You know what? To that.
Love it.
You want
Come on,
to see
bring it.
something? You know what?
Woo!
You're gonna come in the ring right now.
Woo! 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 Woo!
What the heck?
Woo! Woo!
It's the damnedest thing I've ever
You
seen.
got nothing.
Limousine riding, Rolex wearing, kid stealing. Brother, watch this, girls. Woo! You honey. Woo! Yeah, you honey.
That ride has been shut down long enough. Thanks
Shut
to me.
your
They-
mouth.
So that was pretty much the woo off. They just go in the talking back and forth there with this guy that you're seeing. But that was the Ric Flair woo off. And the look on your face.
That is probably the most comical thing I've ever seen. Like Ric Flair trying to outdo someone doing Ric Flair. Like it's awesome.
I never thought about it that way. Ric Flair trying to outdo someone doing Ric Flair.
That's exactly what it is. Johnny Lethal is awesome. He sounds like him. He has the connotations of how he talks like him, the hand movements. It is great. It is great. I loved him when he was Black Machismo as well, because his Macho Man is so good. But that's just so good. It's so much fun. Like Rick's trying not to laugh his ass
You can
off.
see it. You can
And
see
then-
it. 'Cause he has that hair.
At the end, he's just like so into it. He's bright red. It's like fantastic.
So
Throw his shoes at him. It's
Jay Lethal
great.
elbow drops his coat.
Oh my god.
So what happened was this Jay Lethal, for some reason, Rick's like, yeah, I want to see it. Jay Lethal throws his sport coat down, does the Ric Flair strut back, and elbows his coat. Then Ric Flair goes and elbows the wrestling ring. Then they get up and they start going limousine riding, jet flying. No, that's me. Oldest ride. I'm Space Mountain. The look on your face was fantastic.
See, I love crazy shit like that you see in wrestling.
So when I told you about this off the air, I said we're going to watch a Ric Flair woo off. What was going through your mind? The King's coughing over there. He turned off his microphone. Always look on the bright side of death.
Oh, excuse me. I was laughing. I started coughing.
You were cough laughing.
Yeah, laughing.
Because I told you we were going to watch a woo off, the Ric Flair Jay Lethal woo off. And this is the look you gave me. All right.
It's like when you said Jay Lethal, I was calling him Johnny Lethal.
I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah. So when you talk about Jay Lethal, it's always going to be something hilarious, and so I'm like, it's got to be fun. But how well is Ric Flair going to do on it? So I was going into it worried.
Yeah.
It worked out perfect. It works out because Rick just goes into full Ric Flair mode, like just not taking any more shit. I'm Ric Flair. It was great.
Did you hear Ric Flair wants to wrestle again?
Yeah, like, dude,
Did you hear that?
come on, yeah. He's
You
like,
know, I
what,
saw
75 now?
I think 74, 75, and he was supposed to have he had his last match, last year? And, you know,
When everyone went to it.
yeah, but it couldn't, obviously, it wasn't a singles match. He had to do a tag team. And then he didn't look too good during that, but he wants another match. He's 74 years old. And he wants to try to do one more match again. His 57th last match.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, you know. I mean, who would do it? Who would promote it? Who would carry it?
I don't see. Here's the problem. It's all fun and games saying that, you know, he wants to do this, but it comes down to if the insurance company are going to cover him. Because if you're not insured, you cannot wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, but WWE wouldn't do it. I don't think. Well, you never know now.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
It would have to be. It would still be a national organization, but it would be a couple of tiers down. And I don't mean anything disrespectful with this by saying this, but I could see like an NWA doing it.
Yeah, something like that.
Or Impact doing it. Someone who's a little lower. I hate doing that, but it's the truth. They're a little lower on the tier. Of course, you never know with Tony Khan now. He might say, "Yeah, come on, Ric Flair, come on in, we'll do it." You know.
See, I think the problem is, realistically, if WWE isn't going to do it straight up, just for insurance reasons, they wouldn't. But if it was ever a dream like that to have happened, insurance wasn't the issue, I don't think WWE would do it because Rick looks old. It's not like Hogan. Hogan still looks like Hogan.
He looks his age, though, but he still looks like Hogan.
Yeah, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Rick is not in good shape. You can tell in the ring he's not in good shape. No one would want to wrestle him. It's not like Michaels, like back, you know, when he did the career ender with Rick there. You know, it's not like that. He's too old to give a proper match. You'd have to be a tag team again.
Yeah, there he is. That was him from his last match right there.
Yeah, I mean, he does not look in good shape whatsoever. And you're gonna, I hate to say it, but, you know, we're in the PG era. We're still there. You know, they're not going to put an old man getting beaten up in the ring. It's, yeah.
Not this day and age.
Yeah, not this day and age. He looks too old. Now, coming back as a manager, that kind of thing as a character, perfectly acceptable. You know,
here he is. Look at this one right here, the one on the right.
Yeah.
See that? I mean, I hate saying it like this, but he looks bad.
He looks like he looks like a grandfather. Like, picture in your mind what you think a granddad looks like. An older guy, you could tell his age, white hair. He looks like someone's granddad now. Can you see Roman Reigns spearing him? Like, you would get people calling the police for elderly abuse.
I was just going to say Roman would take care of him and not hurt him. You know.
Probably ask him to join the bloodline.
Can you imagine that match? Take Ric Flair from like 1990 against Roman Reigns. Think of that for a minute.
Yeah, but it's going to be Reigns, like last 3-year Reigns, not just like Reigns overall.
No. I'm talking about the Roman Reigns of now, of today.
The tribal chief.
Yeah.
I acknowledge him.
Oh,
I have
really?
to, man. Yeah, I got to, because here's the simple thing. Whenever I hear that Roman Reigns music, I'm on the edge of my seat.
See, okay. I think me and you've talked about this. WWF has backed themselves into a corner that they can't get out of right now. With him having the belt as long, he's had 3 years now. Now Bruno
150 something days now.
Yeah, Bruno and Bob Backlund, those were the days they held the guy has held it for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. But this day and age, and I don't mean to sound like a hypocrite, but this day and age, what have I always said? They got to leave the belt on the guy for a while. Okay. Now, if it's like a year, okay. Sometimes even old school was. Sometimes, if you go back to the golden era, and even when we were kids, sometimes it would be like 6 months. A guy would would have a belt. Okay, right? Okay,
Mhm.
8 months. Okay. In a year, that was like, whoa. After when you got into that time, it was a year was a long time. But I think they backed themselves in the corner, which they don't know how to get the belt off of them.
Well,
who are you going to have beat them right now?
LA Knight.
Would you give it to LA Knight? They're facing at the Crown Jewels, right?
They're facing.
They're not going to drop the belt there. That's a throwaway match. They're not going to drop the belt there. The only reason I'm thinking of this LA Knight versus Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, what do they used to do in house shows?
Test the waters.
Let's test the water. I think this is the one they're testing the waters. And then maybe down the road, LA Knight wins the Rumble. LA Knight goes to face Roman Reigns at Mania. I think they're testing it right here to see how it goes.
I can right. So
no, that's my guess. I'm picking my Rumble winner right now.
Okay.
LA Knight. I have up until the bell rings to change it, and I know that's a number of months away. But LA Knight, that's what I'm going with. LA Knight's going to win the Rumble. He's going to face Roman at Mania.
I think from everything of what's happened storyline wise for the past 6 months, I think, and rumor and innuendo is Roman is desperate to take a break.
Yeah.
Desperate. He's got kids, he wants to spend time with family, and he's looking at a sizable chunk of time away, 6 months to a year.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah. So
he's been running hard for 3 years now.
If you're going to drop the title to anyone in WWE right now, who would you drop it to?
If you had to ask me right now, I'd say Rhodes.
Rhodes?
If it was going to be right now, I would say give the strap to Rhodes. But if Roman can hang out until Mania, I like how my little scenario is going on there.
See, I'm kind of seeing it like the opposite way. Huge upset. LA Knight wins, okay? Gets the belt. It shoots LA Knight into the stratosphere, okay? Cody wins the Rumble. Or Cody challenges him straight up or whatever. Or it's a three-way. Cody wins off him at Mania.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah, because think about it. Reigns has already beaten him once, and then kind of he drifted off for a good amount of time. If they have Cody beat Reigns again, it's pretty much everyone knows that Rhodes is going to walk out with a belt. Okay, you can't pull two firecrackers like that. So the way I see it is you drop it to LA Knight, test the waters with him being a champion. He has it for 6 months maybe, and then he's a transitional winner. When he gets to Mania, he takes on Cody. Now they can judge it from there as well. Is LA Knight still as hot as he was? Does he deserve to keep the belt on him? If he does, let him win. If not, you've got Cody there as a backup.
There's a good scenario right there.
To take the championship and then carry it forward. So I think they learned their lesson with Roman the first time around when he became champion, because he was stuffed down your throat all the time.
He was.
And people hated that. LA Knight has naturally grown. The crowd has put him in this position, and they haven't had that for a long time. Yeah, Cody gets a raise out of the crowd as well, but Cody came in like elite top level. You know, LA Knight was a mid-carder 6 months ago. Now he's a main event, crown jewel, taking on Roman Reigns. That's incredible, and that's simply because the crowd have got behind him. So they're hoping, put the belt on him, see if it gets to like Rock or Stone Cold level of craziness. If it does, keep it on him. If it doesn't, it teeters out, drop it to Cody. Simple as. Roman gets his time off. Cody can be there to put the rub on LA Knight. LA Knight could, finally give a title to Cody. Boom, boom. Well, Cody could finally get a title from LA Knight. So
I want to, no, I agree with you.
So I'm kind of thinking they might drop it.
I want to show you something here. I discovered this the other day, and that's funny. We're talking about LA Knight here. I never knew this. That was LA Knight on season 4 of WWE Tough Enough.
Yeah, he was.
I never knew that. There he is right there.
Yeah, he was on Tough Enough. He's actually he worked on and off for WWE for a while, but basically one of the background wrestlers, like the people who play security or stuff like that. And what they do sometimes, they either get employees or local wrestlers, they give out tickets to Raw and SmackDown, and they kind of put those people like on the front row just as it kind of like turns out. So they kind of pack that in a bit. And so no one can really have those seats. So if they want to do a throw over the top, they land on one of their guys instead of they land on an actual person who paid ticket for it. So he did that for a lot of years, and you can actually see him. There's a YouTube video, and they kind of tracked LA Knight through like the years on like where he got caught on camera and stuff. It's pretty funny, ingenious.
You know where else he got caught on camera? He was in Impact Wrestling too.
Yep.
And you know who he was with in Impact Wrestling?
Go on.
It's coming up.
Oh, that's Mr. Paul Bearer.
It's Paul Bearer. So I don't know. I think they were. Paul Bearer was his manager.
See, that's just
when Paul Bearer did his.
He has a link to the Taker. That's why I like him so much.
I knew you were gonna like that, but look at that. Oh yes, this is mine. He wasn't LA Knight over there. I think he was like Eli Drake or something.
Yeah.
LA Knight was known as Eli Drake at Impact Wrestling, where he became a massive star thanks to his excellent promo skills and in-ring work. Yeah. Paul Bearer managed many legends during his career, and he also had a brief stint managing L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Or Eli Drake. But yeah. So we have our preliminary scenarios right now. We have to revisit this in a little while to see if we still think that's going to be the path. You know what I mean? And we got to ask the Rabbis what he thinks. And he'll probably go, hey, Rabbi, who do you think's going to be the champion? Who do you think's going to be beat Roman Reigns? And you know who he'll say? He'll go, yeah, I think Shayna Baszler. We'll be like, really? He'll be like, duh. Actually, no.
Wow.
No, actually, it won't be more like duh. It'll be like, well, hey, both. I think Shayna Baszler is gonna beat Roman Reigns. Duh.
Wow.
Shayna Baszler. Yeah, both. Shayna Baszler is gonna beat Roman Reigns and have the strap. Both. You hear me, both? Yeah, that's what he'll say.
See, this is a good test to see if he actually listens to the show.
You know, the Shayna Baszler there, King.
He does love Shayna.
He does. He does. Both. I love Shayna Baszler.
You know the funny thing? All right, we were watching.
What's that, both? What's that?
Wife and I were watching SmackDown last night, and Charlotte Flair was on it, and she was fighting. I think she was fighting Shayna Baszler, actually, or something like that. No,
Baszler's a good guy again, I think, right?
Yeah, she's kind of like an anti-hero kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Charlotte comes out, and I always go, she loves Charlotte. Like JD will tell you as well, she loves Charlotte to death.
She does. And Charlotte, what have I always said? Charlotte's a good wrestler. My wife, when she first saw Charlotte Flair, we were watching a Rumble. I think it was the Rumble right before COVID, and she went, "Oh my God, she is beautiful." That's what my wife said. But back to your wife.
The funny thing is, I was going to quote you there because Mandy was like, "Man, she's stunning." I was like, it's Charlotte Flair. I don't see that.
You know why? Because I see Rick. I see too much of Rick.
Yeah, I can see Rick in here as well, but it's like I don't watch the women's wrestling to see the body stuff. I watch.
Oh, come on.
Oh yes, okay, right.
Yes, so, I know. I actually say, remember, I turned you on to the women's wrestling a few years back, and I'm like, you really got to start watching the women's wrestling. And what do you always say? You're like, okay. And then you were hooked.
Yeah.
You were hooked.
I would totally admit it.
Granted, they're nice to look at too, some of them. But no, I will agree with you there. There was a few years. Now I think it's sort of toned down a little, but there was a good two years, almost 3 years where you couldn't touch them women's wrestling matches, especially on the pay-per-views. You know, we would say that every time. We'd be like, dude, it's the women's Rumble was better than the men's. This women's match was better than that one.
That's why I look forward to women's matches. But it's like, you know, when they're wrestling, I lose all cognitive kind of view on the feminine body, and I just look at the wrestling move. It's very weird.
No, I understand.
I think I'm so hyper focused on the wrestling that doesn't matter to me. It's the move itself that matters to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was about to say, remember when you told me about Shannon the first time when she saw her, and I was like, Mandy was just like, she's stunning, and I was like, I guess it's a thing. I guess the lady is just like Charlotte. Okay.
Well, you know who I saw. You know who I've always been real sweet on.
Kelly.
Modern day wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Active women's wrestler. You know who I've always been real sweet on, right?
No.
Rhea Ripley.
Oh, Ripley.
Did you forget?
No, I was thinking about. Don't worry, man.
No. Kelly. You were right with Kelly, but I'm talking about active right now.
Okay. So Ripley, yeah.
I was always real sweet on Ripley, and then a couple years back when they were here for Monday Night Raw, that I went down to, and that's the show I actually left. Me and my friend actually left early because it was so bad. But we saw the women's match, and Ripley was there, and I'm just like, oh my God, she is gorgeous. Like seeing her in person was just like. Think of the old Looney Tunes when the when the wolf would see the pretty lady and just hung,
Yeah.
the jaw would be on the ground. That was every dude there when you saw her in person. You know. But yeah.
Funny thing is, when Ripley's on Raw or SmackDown, me and the wife judge her by what hair she has that day.
She changed her hair a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when she had like I hated the slick back short hair,
But it worked.
Yeah, it worked for the character. I just
Yeah.
I it's not my preference. But she had hair like a few, probably a pay-per-view a couple of months back, and Maddie was like, I really like her hair today, and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty. Yeah. I'm like, why are we talking about Ripley's hair?
But she's another one that people forget. She's, and you know what I mean when I'm talking about this. She's hot right now.
Yeah.
Like she's, but she's kind of getting lost in the mix. But she's hot, as in like people love to hate her right now. LA Knight is right on. He's so over. Ripley's over. You know, which just reminded me, with our two little scenarios there, we might have came up with those all for nothing, because guess who's coming back soon?
Oh.
Randy Orton.
Yeah. Well,
they're going to throw Randy in there.
Yeah, Randy
win the
would
Rumble.
definitely be in the mix. Yeah, Randy can win the Rumble.
I think his time is passe for having the strap, though.
I don't know. Randy Orton's such a good wrestler, though.
I know he is, but he's been in this 20 years already.
He just he doesn't look like he's been doing it for 20 years.
He's in his 40s now.
Yeah, but he just drips charisma, man.
But you have Cody, you have Roman, you have guys like LA Knight. Randy doesn't need the strap. He doesn't need the strap to be over anymore.
I think
that's passe. Now, if this was a point where, hey man, we don't have too many guys that are over right now, and we only have a pool of Roman, Cody, and Orton, like 3 or 4 guys, then maybe. But I'm like, his time for the strap is passe. He doesn't need it.
I disagree. I think Randy is a great strap bearer. I think he could be cool because he can play it heel or he can play it baby face. He's very much like Seth Rollins, like that, you know. And you could just kind of bump the title off him when you don't need it anymore. When somebody else has got, he can be a transitional champion. It doesn't matter. He's that good, even with the belt or without it. He's still a great wrestler.
Because Cena told, let it be known why you won't see the strap on him again. His body can't do it anymore.
Yeah, he's gonna retire out.
He even said he has a long-term contract, but he's extremely part-time right now. Because he said his body it couldn't handle that anymore. He's like, you can't put the weight of the company on me again, where I got to be in every town every night. He's like, I can't do it.
Well, he's going to wrestle at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he's wrestling, though. Going to wrestle someone.
Really?
The funny thing is he was on SmackDown last night, and he was like, I hold a record. And he's like, it's not as cool as Roman's record. He's like 2002 days. He's like 2002 days is the last time I won in a singles contest. Like 2018 or something like that. So he doesn't want to end his legacy on, that. So he's going to fight someone and win at Crown Jewel. And then I think the other thing is as well is Cena's been very active on SmackDown for the past 3-4 months now.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's less than that. It's like 2 months. But the Actors Guild and the Writers Guild is coming to an end.
Yeah.
So the minute that strike kind of ends, he's back to making movies. This is kind of what he did to fill his time, before the guild would come back to
Who
work
knew how
again.
long this was going to last?
Exactly. So I could see him winning against someone at Crown Jewel, and then gone maybe by December.
So right now I'm on WWE's official website with the Crown Jewel, and we know it's Roman versus LA Knight. Okay, we know that one, but there's only 3 matches right now officially.
Yeah. Is the Rhea Ripley one on there?
Well, yeah, you have Seth freaking Rollins versus McBiscuits.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, and then you have Rhea for the women's world title.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax versus Baszler versus Zoe Stark versus Raquel Rodriguez. A fatal 5-way.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the card right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's going to change. That's going to be added.
I think that Ripley match is fucking stupid.
Is it stupid?
Stupid.
Why is it stupid? Ripley's going to win it.
Yeah, I could see Ripley walking away with the title again. But
They're not going to change anything there. That's what I'm saying.
Here's the problem. When you have so many people in the ring, okay, like with a Rumble, you get pulled to the move that's happening in front of you, okay? You kind of forget about the people laying on the ground or trying to pull the other people over the ropes, all right? Because there's enough people that it looks like there's always something happening.
Yeah.
And you get pulled to like the middle of the ring to see the big moves happen, especially with striking camera angles. That is harder to do when you have more than 2 people. Like 3-ways are even harder to do it because someone always has to be out. All right. So
yeah,
now you're talking about 3 people now have to be out all the time. And it's sometimes it can be very jarring to have that. But I don't know. I think it's dumb. I think straight up against Nia Jax or something like that would have probably been a better fight. Raquel's lost against her. That sucks. Practically everyone there's lost at some point against Ripley.
Shoot match. Ripley versus Jax. They're not working. They're shooting. They're going out there for real.
I'm giving it to Ripley.
So would I. I actually thought about that one. I'm thinking if they would go out there and shoot, I'd give it to Ripley.
Yeah, I think Ripley would literally just punch straight in the face.
She's tough.
Yeah, she is. And she's a strong woman as
That's
well.
what I'm saying. She's tough. She's very strong. And then I read something right before we came on the air here that I guess all the haterade that Nia Jax was getting from the fans before her first release really was messing with her.
Yeah.
Like for real. It wasn't a work. Like it was for real. Like it really messed with her. Like with her head.
So that's why she took the time off and then WWE fired her in the middle of it.
Probably, yeah, something.
Yeah.
But
she took time off for mental health issues, and then literally WWE ended her contract while she was off.
Yeah.
So,
and that's probably not helping that when she comes back, people are, it's been a couple of years, right? Well, she came back for that cup of coffee in the Rumble or something.
Yeah.
Last year, right? But that was just a one-off.
Yeah. Before that had been about a year before we saw her.
Yeah. And then she comes back again, and then you have all these fans that are just like, what? She has no, like, for real, people were saying she has no business being there. She's just hurting everybody, which she is hurting people. Is it on purpose? Probably not, but she works real stiff.
Yeah, you got to be very malleable when you're a big person as well.
See, to be the professional is take the earthquake. Look how big he was. Never hurt anyone.
Yeah.
That's where the art form and that's where the professionalism come in.
Well, you see, here's the other, like, I hate
Now,
to
did he
say,
knock the wind out of somebody? Probably,
well,
but he didn't
definitely,
hurt
yeah.
him. He didn't hurt him.
Apparently, and I hate to say it, but Piper Niven apparently is the same way. Like, I watch Piper Niven wrestle,
Dewdrop.
and Dewdrop, and I literally wince sometimes because the way she hits people looks so bad. Like, it really does. It looks like she hurts people. Apparently, she doesn't. Apparently, she's just very good at shifting her weight, so it makes
good.
it look bad. But in theory, it's not. Like, no one has ever been hurt about her doing her like her running like bum drop on them.
Well, that's that. There's the art form of it. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yokozuna. Never. Have you remember that Yokozuna documentary? Everyone that he worked with that was still alive. Okay, that sounds terrible, but everyone who was still alive that he worked with in the past said he was so professional. He never hurt. When you watch me take that bonsai drop, you would think, "Oh my God, I have crushed ribs. I have internal bleeding." He's like, he never hurt me once. Did he knock the wind out of me? Oh, hell yeah. But he never hurt me. He never intentionally did anything.
Yeah, whereas I don't know if it's just knives just so wooden sometimes, or it's a bit of ring rust in there. I don't know, but like you come back, you hurt Ripley, and you come back and you hurt, Rodriguez as well. In like a week of each other.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think a 5-way match is just there's just not enough. There's not enough people to fill the ring up like a rumble. There's too little there, and you can blatantly see when the people are taking breaks. So it just kind of takes me out of the element. Like a freeway match, like those are some of my least favorite matches. Give me a tag team or give me a one-on-one. I'm happy with that. Freeway matches, again, same thing. There's a point where I'm like, where's such and such? Like, he's been out of the ring for like 3 minutes. So, it takes me out of it sometimes. I don't know. I would have preferred to go. I think Ripley works great when she's one-on-one.
Yeah. I'm your mammy.
Mammy on top.
I'll be all. Can you do an Australian accent?
No,
since they're they're your brethren within the empire.
No, I don't think.
I'm sorry, Commonwealth.
You got to have a bit of a higher twang when you're talking like an Aussie.
Okay. So how hard is it for? Let me ask you something, and then we'll get going here. Now that we're talking about accents, I met an actor, who played an Englishman in a movie, and he had a very nice English accent. But when I met him, he was Irish.
Okay.
How hard? I mean, I didn't. How hard would it be for an Irishman to do an English accent?
Not hard at all.
Not hard at all.
No. Again, accents something you can imitate if you practice enough.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So, if you're Irish, okay, and especially if you're living in Northern Ireland, most of the media you're consuming is either from America or is from England. So, you'll constantly have those two accents in your ear all the time. You just naturally are able to emulate it in the end. It's the same way with like how you do Arnold. Just you've seen him in movies so much.
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger.
See, it's accents can be learned easily.
You must get to the chopper.
It's just easier for people to do some accents.
Yeah. Can you do Dr. Gregory House?
I can't.
You can't do House
because
he's English.
Oh yeah,
he does it really good. Yeah,
Hugh Laurie is a great English comedian.
I think he's hilarious. I love him.
Many years. He's great. I tell you what, if you like Hugh Laurie, have a look on YouTube for an old, I think it's like 1989 TV show called, what's it called? God damn it.
It's called God Damn It. Oh man, that is fantastic.
I'm pretty sure there is a TV show around.
Well, I didn't know who he was.
Jeeves and Wooster.
Oh,
is what it's called. Jeeves and Wooster. It's Hugh Laurie as Wooster, who's this very rich English guy at the turn of the century, and Jeeves is his butler, who's played by Stephen Fry. And basically, it's each episode is Wooster gets in trouble somehow, and Jeeves has to sort it out.
wow.
And it is hilarious, absolutely funny as hell.
I'll have to look it up. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Look that up. But all right, so hopefully Barris can be back next program.
Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, he did say he was ill, and knowing him, he like scratched himself, and now he's in the hospital or something.
He looked at himself the wrong way in the mirror, and now he has COVID. Because that could happen to him. I'll tell you.
Hey, for those of you that have been listening to us for a number of years, I swear that boy, he did get COVID, and now I tease him about this. I teased him about it, and then I started to say there's some truth to this, that ever since he got COVID, he hasn't been right. Because remember, he got COVID, he was sick for a while, and then all of a sudden he bumped his leg, like literally, like if bumped it as if you were like bumped it off of your end table or something in your house, and then he had to go into the hospital for what, a week because it swelled up or something.
Yep,
and then
crazy.
he came home, and then he was at work, and he scratched himself, and then his arm ballooned up, where he was in hospital for like a week, and then there's been other weird things, and I'm like, now he would send us a picture. Remember, I'm in the hospital again. Yeah. I went, damn, are you trying to break the King's record here? I mean, good Lord.
No one could break the King's record.
No. But okay, so if you would like to hear King Logan in more of our programs,
of course they want to hear more of King Logan.
If you want to hear more of King Logan, please visit ringthebellradio.com. Click the big no echo. Click the big red button that says listen to the podcast, and you will see our whole library of shows there. You can also go to Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music. That's right, Amazon Music, right?
I know, some sort of music.
Amazon. Or your favorite podcasting platform. We will be there. You can listen to it. Send us your love mail or hate mail. Or send us your Barris mail at ringthebellradio@gmail.com. You can also message us on the X. Or did we say we're still calling it Twitter?
I'm just calling it tweet.
It's calling the tweets, the Twitter. Or Instagram. You can direct message us there, and you can, and have a comment, send it to us. And you never know, we might read it on the air. We've done that before. We have been known to do that before. So is there any kingly wisdom over there before we get going?
Yes. Hello, my wonderful and adoring fans. I know you're here for some kingly wisdom, so here it is. Give to charity, but only if that charity gives to you.
With that being said, I know who I am. The King knows who he is. You know who you are. So we will see you next time.
Why not?